Live listeners, are you still there? This is back in the day, nostalgic 90s, Stitch and Dean at your service.
And we are delighted to be at your service, remembering the 90s, remembering the days of the Rachel haircut and dial-up internet. So what are we going to be discussing today, Stitch?
Today's show, following rapidly on from 2 weeks ago's show, is DJs. But first, let's introduce your DJs of the day. This is Stitch C. That is a Smoothie D. Smoothie D has gone past his best days, but if you want to imagine what he looks like, David Beckham, Bruce Lee, and Stitch, a little bit Steve Merchant and the FA Cup, if you can imagine that.
Not so sure about Bruce Lee, David Beckham, yes. For you, Steve Merchant, definitely yes.
Yeah, I think it's getting a little bit too close for comfort, actually. Yeah, they might spot me in the street now. So DJs it is. This is back in the day. Our days was the 90s, Dean. But any day, we're trying to encourage young listeners also to talk about their youth. It doesn't have to be the same age as us.
Yeah, we take a bit of the post 90s, although it wasn't as good as the 90s. A little bit of the 80s
Yeah,
if you're in your slippers and your cardigan,
yeah,
or no earlier than that though. But the 90s really, that's what did it for us, really,
yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah. If
And we were if you were a lad in the 90s, you were part of the last great generation before the world went mad, young
Amen.
people went all,
Amen to
yes.
that. Yes. I think even if you weren't there, people look at it favorably. Is it the next era on from the 60s? Because it 60s is cool, even if you're never born, if you and you never lived it. And I think 90s is right up there, isn't it? Music,
I think it would, yes,
fashion.
I think so.
Mm,
Because the 80s definitely had a lot to be nostalgic about,
yeah,
but people either loved it or didn't like it. Yeah.
yeah,
The 90s, hmm, but I can't think of that many people who really did not like the 90s.
yeah. We need to shout out.
It certainly had a lot to be, yeah, hmm,
Yeah, it did.
yeah. There's a lot
Not
there
just
to
'cause-
reminisce
not
about.
not just because we were there. Um, a shout out to our first commenter, window cleaner. Thanks for your rendition there on our Spotify platform. And Ben also has given us a rating on the Apple platform. Do you remember what platforms used to be, Dean?
What platforms were there?
Stages? Get up,
Just
do a discourse, play a musical instrument. That's what a platform one, wasn't it?
that's that's where it all started.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
What are they now?
Now platforms, Spotify,
Isn't it?
Apple, YouTube, which we are all on, by the way.
Yes. Follow the links.
Just search, yeah, follow the links, or just search for Back in the Day podcast, and you'll find it.
Yeah, yeah.
You'll find us.
We are talking about DJs. Last
Yeah.
last lesson, we were talking about radio shows that formed our premier years. DJs. If I said DJ, Dean, first one who would spring to your mind.
First one springs to mind. No competition. Steve Wright.
Steve Wright in the afternoon. Yes, classic. The king of radio. No second guess on that one,
Voice of the 90s.
isn't it? He's one of those ones that you just never wanted to stop listening to. He was anything he said, even if it was boring, was epic.
Yeah, that's right. One thing I never understood was that when there were polls of the most annoying DJs. He was always number one, the most annoying DJ.
Oh,
And I never got that. I never understood it because he was brilliant.
yeah. A
The late,
magnetic
great
voice.
Steve Wright.
Mm.
That's
Magnetic
right. Yeah.
voice. And his posse, did he start off on his own and then he got the posse in later?
Well, think Steve Wright. Well, it was a phenomenon, really. Yeah. Of I think the Americans called it the zoo format. It is when
Oh.
you would have the DJ was the anchor man, and
Ah,
then you would have the posse with you. They
right,
started it in I don't know, maybe the 70s. And Steve Wright, I think it was in the 80s, he took it on,
right.
but made it really big in the 1990s. So he was very much he was the anchor man and held it all together, but he had his posse in the background.
Yeah, just
Basically, yeah, it was just the producers and the travel girl,
yeah. What was her name? Sally, wasn't it? Sally,
um,
Sally in the sky.
Sally Sally Traffic,
Lucy.
Sally Sally Bozeman.
Yes.
Everyone knows her as Sally Traffic.
Yeah, Sally Traffic, yeah. So that was number one. There were others available also, and again, mostly on the favored Radio One, unless they got over a certain age, they dipped into Radio Two. Chris Moyes, wasn't he the savior of Radio One when it was on its dip?
According to Chris Moyes, he was definitely the savior.
Yeah,
He famously claimed that
himself. Yeah,
title for himself.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, he had millions of fans.
He was.
But
Hmm.
the trouble was, though, Stitch, was that he had millions of fans, but at the same time, a lot of people hated him because he could just waffle on for 20 minutes without playing a single song.
Yeah. But I think that's the thing, because beforehand, radio was just listening to music and the DJ wasn't the prominent one. In the 90s, the DJ started getting more important than the music. And then they'd fling a few tunes in, but you were looking forward to the tune ending and then doing their babble and their comedy again. I think that was the big flick.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big turnaround was that the music became the interruption
Yeah.
to the conversation, didn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas prior to that, you didn't want the DJ, you didn't want him interrupting the music.
Yeah. Simon
So
Mayo.
that was part of the transformation.
Yeah.
Simon Mayo, he was,
He was smooth, wasn't he?
he was big. He was quite prominent. Yeah,
I think he's still around somewhere. I remember him.
he
He changed all sorts of
is.
times:
Yeah,
morning, afternoon, evening, weekends.
yeah, and he regularly did Top of the Pops, but that's not radio, is it, Stitch?
No
And
chance.
the last I heard, he got into classical music, and he was doing a show on not Radio Three, I don't think it was Classic FM, but something like Classic FM.
Ah,
So he's gone all weird.
no, to the
Yeah.
dark side.
Mm.
Because radio
Whatever.
DJs, it was just the voice, wasn't it? Because there was no videoing, podcasting, TVing, so it was just the voice. Who was that? There was a guy called Bob in the evenings who had a great voice, like really husky. Was it Bob? Can't remember. Should have read me notes properly.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have done a bit more research really as well. But Bob, yeah, that's right.
Bob, oh,
But
thanks, Bob.
but he was from a slightly different era,
Mm,
but he sort of stuck around, didn't he?
yeah.
Yeah. Because there was a bit of a purge in 1993 where radio, the BBC, the controller, he did away with all of the smashy and nicey
Oh no.
type
Right.
DJs like Tony Blackburn. You know, those used to talk in a
Yeah.
cool voice, a voice that could give you laryngitis. And so he got rid of all them and then brought in the guys like Chris Moyes and then there
Mark
was Zoe
Goodyear.
Ball and
Zoe Ball.
various others. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Joe Wiley.
Joe Wiley. Zoe Ball, yeah. Zoe Ball. She used to do it with a guy. Jamie Theakston was on as well in the mornings. Was it a double act?
Yeah,
Double acts in the morning. Morning was the place to be, wasn't it?
it was. Yeah. Well, she had the energy really
Yeah.
for morning radio, didn't she?
Yeah.
Which is what he needed. Chris Evans as well.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Not on my
So
list.
when
Hmm.
yeah, so when they binned off all of the oldies, like Dave Lee Travis, he had to go, didn't he?
Right.
They got rid of it. Well, he resigned on air
Good on
in
him.
the early 90s. Yeah, when so fair play to the guy. And now he's doing sort of some sort of nostalgic station.
The so yeah, they went
But
from the music is important and the DJ getting in the way, then the DJ being the main part, and then the music just being a quick respite for the next joke. Then they went to double acts, yeah. So
mm,
you had boy and a girl, sometimes you had a posse. Mark and Lard. What about them? Were you into them?
Mark and Lard, yes, indeed. Yeah, Mark Radcliffe and Mark with a C, Riley. Yeah,
Oh, nice one. That's what I've got on
they
the show.
are.
Look at that. Great mind.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
they replaced Chris Evans. Yeah,
right,
because Chris Evans he did a morning show on Radio One,
right.
and it was an absolute disaster. After a short while of him, people were just wanting to throw the radio out of the window.
Yeah,
So they replaced him with, I think, with Mark and Lard. But Mark and Lard in the mornings, it was an absolute disaster, and it absolutely bombed.
right.
So they shifted them to the afternoon slot, 1 till 3, and it absolutely flew. And it was
Yeah.
amazing, and it became iconic radio.
Oh, iconic, iconic. I think you could download them, and I
Yeah.
wish I'd done some. I've been asking everyone to do some relives. Mark and Lard did used to do loads of sketches. Was it a Spagnoguland or something? They had loads of these made-up characters. There was another guy who used to read. He used to read the. Was he like an American? And he was doing the commentary of Dallas Cowboys taking on the Phoenix Knights. I forgot what he was doing, but he was doing the commentary in an American accent and then putting loads of stuff in that had double meanings at the same time. Uh,
Yeah, missing
very
words. You remember missing words?
no.
The phoning quiz. So
Ah,
they play a song and they dubbed out a word, and so you had to phone in and sing the missing word.
right.
But they had this spoof, probably one, just a posse member. They had a spoof caller, this Irish fella, who would phone in every week. It was totally scripted and absolute nonsense, but hilarious.
No, no, I remember it was just yeah, there was nothing sane on there, but it was absolutely hilarious from like start
Yeah,
to end. I don't know how
yeah.
they did it.
I don't know because they weren't cool. They
No,
were they were uncool on purpose.
yeah,
A bit like a bit
they
like I
knew.
suppose you'd say Alan Partridge
Yeah,
they were stubbornly, purposefully uncool.
yeah,
So um, Mark Radcliffe, he was the sort of a straight man, wasn't he?
mm,
And Lard, he was a plus sidekick who
yeah.
didn't really know what he was at and a bit dim. And so Mark would say a joke, and Lard he'd just say hiya Mark, so he could just come up with absolute bilge.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, so again, that was like framing up. It was also framing the way we looked at comedy. So it wasn't just presenting stuff, it was being funny, being outrageous. Yeah. So when you
Yeah.
listen to
Do you
it,
remember the catchphrases?
go on.
Do you remember the catchphrases? Stop.
No,
Carry on. No, remember that?
no.
And they did biggity biggity bong.
Right.
Yeah.
I, I, this is not Mark and Lard. This is Steve Wright. He used to do Sid the Manager. Hello? Yes, 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 yes. Hello?
Yeah.
That one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Always on the
Oh, he had
radio,
the old
always on
woman
the
as well,
phone.
didn't he?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, that's where our listeners should come in. We are looking for sound notes, emails. We could have or comments in either of our platforms of your memories of DJs, because this is brain backed. This is not AI backed. So we're doing research out of our own archives from our reminiscing minds. So if you have anything you want to share, please tell us, and we will include it in the next show, won't we?
We certainly will.
Hmm.
You are listening to Back in the Day podcast, Nostalgic 90s with Stitch and Dean. Remembering the time when the Sony Walkman used to drag. The power light was always growing dim when you didn't want it to. Look to the show, Stitch.
And remember, the only subscription you should have is Reader's Digest. There's another sketch we could do, another show. Um, so
The Reader's Digest, yes.
Sid the Manager, Mark and Lard. Again, the these were so epic. So if you were in the car, because that's where we said the radio was, you couldn't leave the car because that's where the show was going on. Yeah. Not back in the day, not many people had Walkmans. And if you did, you didn't normally listen to the radio. So, say if you're going to the beach, you're going on a camping holiday, you had to all crowd in the car or stay in the car to get the jokes and the comedy. Oh, the manager's coming, or Mark and Lard's is doing their Spagnoguland um, sketch. You'd have to crowd in the car and listen to it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Absolute car packed with lads. It was almost invariably lads, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And you just had to be there in the moment.
certainly it is.
And everyone was just so engaged as well.
Yeah,
Because there was no flicking your smartphone out because it was all like Nokia 5100 brick phones where
yeah, yes,
not much of a distraction. And so everyone was just engaged, listening to the radio or waiting for the radio, what they
yeah.
wanted to hear.
So the radio was like a timeline, wasn't it? It was telling you when to be there and telling you when to listen. So that sort
Mm.
of controlled our lives instead of anything in our hands that could control it now, like the old smartphone taking precedent. But that was funny. So you had to be in a place where you could hear the radio. So it dictated our
Yeah.
lives to us. So it was, yeah, it was
Mm.
interesting. Maybe youngsters don't understand that.
Oh, they haven't got a clue because they everything they want to look at,
Yeah,
they can take they take with them in their pocket.
yeah,
But we had to be around the radio
yeah.
to hear what
Radio,
we wanted to hear. At
radio.
work,
Yeah,
when I worked for in my youth, worked for a builder's merchant
right.
in, in the 19 my youth, and also again in the 1990s.
Yeah,
And we the staff, the six of us out in the builder's yard, we'd all go missing,
right.
and we were all huddled around a radio in the afternoon. And our boss, he had CCTV put up in the end, so he could
No,
track
no more,
us. But
no
so
more.
yeah, that's right. And yeah, so we'd send out search parties. But basically, they just needed to know where the radio was, and they'd find us all.
Brilliant, brilliant. So there you are, youth of today. That is back in the day where you had to be where the radio was, not where your phone was. Superb. We're sounding really miserable, aren't we? But back in the day was always better. So
It sure was.
DJs, we couldn't see them, but we could hear them and we loved them and we wanted them to talk. So there became a time when the music wasn't important. It was this talking which was important, which is what we're doing today. Just talking, no music. What do they used to say? Less, no rap, less chat, wasn't it?
Less chat. That didn't last, did it, Stitch?
No, chatting. Dr. Fox, he's another one.
Yeah,
Anyway, mate, we can't
yeah.
rattle on for years. We've got other things to do. It's time for me Chelsea Bun and me Earl Grey. Can't natter to
That's
you all afternoon.
No, that's right. Well, that's all for today, everyone. Please comment on the comment section. You can email us on contact backinthedaypodcast@gmail.com. But that's it. That wraps up our trip through the decade of denim and dial-up. If you enjoyed the show, be a total legend and tell your friends about us, and preferably by pager or by passing a folded up note. But we're heading out to see if we can still pull off the hammer time side shuffle without blowing out a knee or getting stuck in our parachute pants. See ya.
Bye for now.